Went 6-14 in conference, 5-win improvement over last year. Only the third team since 1985 to do that in the Big Ten. So looking forward to next season. What are your expectations already for the 2015 41st edition of Indiana Volleyball?
Well, I think you want to, obviously the goal is always to get to the tournament. I mean, we're in the Big Ten, and that's the ultimate goal, but you have to stay in the process, and we have to keep improving. We have to have a great off season. Our incoming players have to be ready to go. We're finally to a point where we're going to have more of a veteran squad, more juniors and seniors than underclassmen. Last few years we've been a young team. And so I think they understand the expectations that we all have for the program, not just administration or coaches or whatever that is. I think we all want the same thing. I just finished a whole week of player meetings, and they went fantastic, and I think we're all on the same page with that. And I really, really enjoy this group, just like I did all season. And I think we have to keep tweaking what we're doing and not be satisfied with how I coached them, how they prepared, the extra work we're all doing, all those type of things. I think we have to keep working together for a common goal. And I think we all definitely have that common goal. Now we have to make sure we're on the same path to getting to that common goal. And so I'm more motivated than ever. I mean, clearly, with the kids we have coming back and with the incoming class we have, there's no reason not to be motivated for the future.
And I know you guys want to schedule tougher in the non-conference schedule to help with boosting the RPI.
Yeah.
But how do you balance that, though, knowing you're going to face 7, 8 at least ranked opponents in conference play? How do you balance that, trying not to schedule too tough in the non-conference?
I think scheduling is an art, and maybe we need a full-time person just to do scheduling. First of all, it's very challenging. Like us, we want to host 2 tournaments because you want to be at home as much as you can in the preseason, and you want your fans to be able to see you, and obviously we want to sleep in our own beds and have the home court advantage. So getting teams to come here with the right RPI and just getting all that organized is tough, and then deciding where you want to go. So we spent, Shane, who's our director of operations, and I have really been working hard at it, and we spent yesterday looking at everyone in our conference, all teams in the NCAA tournament right now, what their non-conference RPI was, where they finished, what that did to them in the end, because RPI is a huge measure of getting into the NCAA tournament. And then you have to win, right? It's not just about playing the right teams, but then you have to beat the right teams. So if you lose to a low RPI when you feel like you should have won, way down the line that can come back and bite you a little bit. So we have to be very careful. You get enough wins in the non-conference schedule, you schedule the right people, and you get it done, which is a challenge. Just because you know the teams you want to play doesn't mean they want to come here and play us. So we're going to head back. We're going to go to Texas, down in San Marcos, Texas, because I think it's really important. Shantae will be a senior. She's a 5th-year senior, and we've never been back home to her, and that's a really important thing to me. Most of our kids are from the Midwest, so their parents get to see them play a ton because of how the Big Ten is organized. Shantae's family comes once a year because that's all they can really do, and with their schedules and everything. So I thought it would be really great to get her back home and have her people be able to come and see her and all that she's accomplished in college, which is a lot. And so I'm excited to go there. And then we're deciding on the other away tournament right now. And we have I think we have some good ideas on who we want to compete against and the direction we want to go.
And then you guys will obviously have a couple of spring matches here.
Mm-hmm.
I know last year you guys played Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
What do you look to get out of those spring matches?
Yeah, I think the longer I'm in it, I realize it's not just about playing tournaments. You have 4 play dates, and so we like to kind of split those up. 2 tournaments and then 2 scrimmage opportunities, wash games per se. We like to do it with Purdue. We always just split that up, and so I think we're going there this year, hopefully. We're going to work on that in January. And so you can just do almost a glorified practice with them and work on certain things you want to, whether it's our offense or their offense, and we kind of go against each other. And now you're seeing a Big Ten team, and so you're kind of seeing what works and what doesn't work that you've been working on in practice. And then Circle City always hosts a really nice tournament with a lot of college teams, and so does Kiva down in Louisville. And so those are all options on the table right now. And it, honestly, the off season can be a bit of a grind because you're not in your schedule of, playing all the time. And so those tournaments give them a chance to get a lot of playing time, kids that maybe didn't play a ton, see where the improvements are made, and then just allow them to compete against someone besides themselves in practice, and fortunately for us, we have a lot returning, so we can do a lot more 6-on-6 type stuff in practice, whereas sometimes you're depleted a little bit because you had a lot of seniors and you can't really do a lot of scrimmage type opportunities, but we're fortunate and we're going to get to do that quite a bit this spring.
And final question, what will be your biggest focus for this team moving into the off season?
I think, the improvements, we know, we were able to get quite a few kills this year, and we improved a lot in that area. Our efficiency, though, with our hitters has got to be better. We've got to, Amelia and I sat down and she's like, yeah, I figured out how to get kills now, but I also figured out how to get a lot of errors. So that's something, I know she really wants to focus on, just like we want to focus on with her and with everyone else. So understanding decision making and really understanding how to reduce errors and do things like that during the off season. And so we'll sit down as a staff now that we're done with all the player meetings and really come up with a plan before the middle of January when we all come back and kind of convene together. And I gave them a challenge too as players over the break, not right now, right after season. You're kind of decompressing and it's a lot. There's a lot of emotion, I think, right after season, but take this 3.5 weeks or whatever that you're off and come up with a plan. I think the more they can come up with a plan of their own, share it with us, we can figure out together how to accomplish that, is accountability. Instead of us just saying, Amelia, I want you to do this, or Allison, I want you to do this. I think they have to take ownership in their development and their improvements. And I think the more they take that ownership, the more we can help them in the process and not direct them in the process. So I think they're very clear. We have to deal with adversity a lot better. I think we hit that mid-season point around Iowa, and that's where our decline started to happen. When we really got in the grind of the season, we didn't handle the adversity of losing or the aches and pains of the body or just the long season as well as we wanted to. So I think we know that, and we have to work through that and understand how to deal with that better next year. And I think that's a good challenge for us that we're all on the same page of, is what happened to us at that point and how do we change that and find solutions to that.
All right, so that's going to do it for the 2014 season of Indiana Volleyball. I'm Sean Nash, and as always, Coach Sherry Dunbar-Kruzan. She'll be back next season. I, unfortunately, will not be back. So
thank you, though. I mean, it's been a lot of fun, and hopefully it's given an insight into our program for all our fans and recruits and everyone that watches. But I think you've done a great job, and I really appreciate all the hard work you put in.
Well, thank you. I hope I've added to the list of great broadcasters that have come before me rather than
a lot of
deter from it.
expectations, as you know. Our broadcasters are all doing really good things, so you got a high standard.
Yeah, well, so thank you to everyone that has watched throughout this season. Thanks for watching this final episode, and we'll see you in 2015.